You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Buffa. Long Island Congressman George Santos has been expelled. Virginia Huey has the latest from Capitol Hill.
2/3 voting in the affirmative, the resolution is adopted, and a motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
And with that, freshman Congressman George Santos' first term became his last. The House voted to expel Santos by a bipartisan vote of 311 to 114 over ethics violations, making Santos only the sixth lawmaker ever to be kicked out of the chamber.
Mr. Santos, your reaction.
The now ex-congressman faced a crush of media as he left the Capitol in disgrace. After serving 11 tumultuous months, Santos leaves with a unique mark in history. He is the first person to be expelled from the House without first being convicted of a federal crime or supporting the Confederacy. Jody Cass of Great Neck was among a handful of Long Islanders who traveled to the Capitol to witness the historic vote.
It's a win for democracy. It's certainly a win for our district. But it is an outrage that he has been there for 11 months.
Santos survived 2 previous expulsion votes. His ouster comes 2 weeks after a blistering House Ethics Committee report detailed what investigators say was Santos's use of campaign funds for his own personal profit. Among Santos's alleged expenses, Botox treatments, designer clothing purchases, and trips to Atlantic City. Santos repeatedly blasted the report as a political smear, but he did not refute the specific allegations.
It should have never come to this. Santos had every single opportunity to hold himself accountable. He had every opportunity to resign.
Ridding our own House of a total fraud and serial liar is a necessary step.
Santos's expulsion now sets the stage for a special election early next year to fill his Long Island swing seat. 3rd District constituents are hopeful it will bring them positive representation.
Whatever happens, our member of Congress will no longer be a criminal and fraudster.
In Washington, D.C., I'm Virginia Huey for Newsday TV.
So what does this mean for Long Islanders? Newsday political contributor Joy Brown joins me in studio to break it down. So Joy, first question, how did we get here?
How did we get here? Well, let's start out with George Santos being caught pretty early on in a web of lies. People went back, checked, things that he said, things that he did, just did not check out. You add to that 23 felony counts and a federal indictment against him. You add to that a 56-page report by the House Ethics Committee, which says that he took, among other things, campaign funds and spent them on things like Botox. You add to that opposition from his Long Island colleagues in Congress. You add to that opposition from his constituents, who traveled to federal court. They went to his office in Queens. They went to Washington, D.C. to say, hey, we don't have any representation. It's not just that we're embarrassed. It's that this guy is not doing the work that we need him to do.
So what does this mean for Long Islanders in his district?
Long Islanders in his district, if you thought you were being ignored, that you're not going to be ignored any longer. The House Majority Public Action Committee, these are the people who raise funds. They say, hey, we're going to be spending a lot of money in District 3 because we want to turn that district blue. You've got the Republicans who on Long Island who have had 3 very good election cycles in terms of keeping offices and getting Republicans in office. They're going to be bound and determined to keep that district red.
The last question for you is, what happens next for George Santos?
For George Santos, he walked out of Congress, we're told, and he said, to hell with this place. Unfortunately for him, he's due back in federal court in about a week and a half, and he's slated to go on trial on these financial misdoings in September of 2024. So we've not seen the last of Mr. Santos.
On Santos, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And a former LIRR worker pleaded guilty for lying about an inspection that led to a train derailment. Prosecutors say Stuart Conklin lied about having inspected a faulty electric line that caused the 2019 derailment. Video shows Conklin did not do the inspection during his shift that day. The 66-year-old faces up to 2 years in prison. And also in court today, a state employee pleaded guilty to rape charges. Ovzi Cannon admitted to raping a 15-year-old at the Brentwood Residential Center for Girls. Prosecutors say the 40-year-old gave the victim edibles before assaulting her. The Queens man is due back in court next month. And only in Newsday, the cost of abuse. Long Island school districts are paying millions to settle old sexual abuse lawsuits, but it's really costing taxpayers.
The challenges, I think, are much larger than anybody could have imagined. Tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars across the state.
It could be a crippling cost for Long Island schools. Newsday's investigative team has found more than 200 sexual abuse cases filed under the Child Victims Act have been lodged against local school districts. The victims claiming they were abused by teachers, administrators, and staff decades ago. Because of the time frame, litigating the cases can be tricky, which is why many districts are choosing out-of-court settlements. Normally, insurance companies would cover the cost, but in most cases, the companies are no longer in business or can't be found.
Even if you do find your insurance company, oftentimes districts could find that they're woefully underinsured.
Ron Macera is with the Suffolk County School Superintendents Association. He's working to figure out how districts will handle these payments. A Newsday investigation found in the last year, districts have settled 37 lawsuits. Those settlements ranging from $5,000 to $8 million. Money that's likely coming out of your pocket. It's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of Long Islanders who are already paying some of the highest property taxes in the nation.
They should go after whoever did it, not the school districts.
I've got to bear that responsibility. I'm not happy about it.
In many of these cases, the people named as abusers are deceased. Those who aren't are often included as additional defendants. But under the Child Victims Act, accusers can also go after institutions, claiming school districts failed to protect them. And school officials say if a settlement is agreed on, there aren't many options when it comes to paying the price.
Something like this is so far out of your hands, you really don't have any other option but to pass that cost on to your taxpayers.
Districts are sometimes forced to borrow money, in some cases, millions of dollars. According to school officials, districts could be forced to cut educational programs, increase class sizes, or raise taxes. The State School Boards Association is lobbying state lawmakers to help provide funding, but so far the effort has failed in Albany. We spoke to a lawyer representing 7 people suing the Port Jefferson School District. They're calling for action and accountability.
The response from the school district so far has been not to take responsibility for what's happened to my clients. And I don't think it's enough to say, here's some money, go away.
The Port Jefferson School District has not said if it has enough insurance coverage for the claims.
Until they tell the truth and come forward and take responsibility, how can you trust that they're doing the right thing now?
This is the age of transparency. We're in a place where this is not something that you can or should hide from your community.
$28 million has already been paid out, and there are another 150 lawsuits still waiting in the wings, meaning 2024 could be another costly year for Long Island taxpayers.
Now, to read more about our special investigation, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And the FDNY is giving its final salute to its long-serving chaplain. John Dellendeck died on Thanksgiving Day from 9/11-related pancreatic cancer. The 74-year-old served as the department chaplain for 28 years. He was known for giving comforting guidance to families after the September 11th attacks. And Dr. Anthony Fauci will not be giving a graduation speech at Hofstra. Fauci's team tells Hofstra he has an unavoidable and unanticipated conflict. The commencement ceremony is scheduled for December 21st. All right, let's take a look at your Long Island weather. We have some good news for you. Tomorrow it's going to be a warmer day. Get rid of this rain for now. It's going to be cloudy though, so take a closer look at tomorrow. You can see temps are in the mid-50s all day with cloud cover overhead.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
A new flower shop has bloomed in Huntington, and Elise DiStefano has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Hometown Flower Co. has a new home in Huntington.
It is so beautiful in here. I'm so happy to see your new space.
The blooming business, owned by Jacqueline Ritigliano, just opened its first brick and mortar on Main Street.
So we launched as Long Island's first flower truck in 2019. We needed a home base, first and foremost. We live in Huntington, so it was really important for us to be in our own hometown.
In the new store, you can stop in to grab a gift or make one yourself.
This is our DIY holiday bar, so anyone can come off the street. So let's jump in and actually make an ornament over here. You can grab some dried floral confetti. We could do a Christmas tree.
Ah, there we go.
Right in there. A little bit of snow. So just kind of like a fun little way to make something uniquely yours.
They also offer workshops.
We are creating our signature peace wreaths from scratch.
That's the final product.
Yeah.
At this rate, I am lucky if I am done with mine by Christmas.
You know,
work in progress.
And relax.
And of course, you can order the dried flowers and flowers in a bag they've become famous for.
The big thing with us is that we only work with locally grown seasonal flowers. So during the warmer months, 100% of the flowers that we design with come from our Long Island farms. In the off season, like right now, we source from greenhouses. We just really want people to change their perspective and their relationship with flowers and really understand that there are people behind them, growing them, designing them. So with that in mind, we like to create really unique experiences that connect people to those kind of unique and unexpected flowers.
Elisa DiStefano, Newsday TV.
To read more about Hometown Flower Company, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
We are on the hunt for the best authentic pizza on the island. Erica Marcus has today's Feed Me TV.
What if I told you that some of Long Island's best pizza is on this industrial block in Farmingdale, right behind this unmarked door? Dom's Pizza is located inside the warehouse of Sapori del Vallo, an importer of Italian specialty goods. In 2019, Dominic and Carmine Biancamano moved their warehouse from Deer Park to this 1,200 square foot facility in Farmingdale. During the pandemic, they opened a small market for customers who couldn't find what they needed at the supermarket. Sapori del Vallo gets its name from the Biancamano's star product, fresh pasta imported from Campania. But they also sell dry pasta, olive oils, aged cheese, jarred items, and fresh mozzarella that they make here. A lot of those products wind up on the pizza. Dom's pizzaiolo is Raffaele Pacilio. He uses this wood-burning brick oven to make pies both traditional and inventive.
My favorite pizza is simple, just tomato sauce, fresh mozzarella, basil, and grated cheese. Just a regular margherita.
My favorite pie is also margherita. Frankly, if there were no other pizzas on earth, I'd be perfectly happy eating margherita pizza till I die. You know, it's got like the perfect proportion of tomato to mozzarella, and you can see it has this beautiful crust here. I mean, this is what it's all about. It's light, and it's airy, and it has a beautiful taste like really good bread. I also really like the rustica here, with porcini mushrooms and sausage and smoked mozzarella, all stuff that they sell here in the market. Absolutely fantastic. You gotta try some of this. In Farmingdale, this is Erica Marcus for Newsday TV.
Now for more on the best pizza, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Long Island school districts paid millions to settle old sexual abuse lawsuits. Newsday investigates the damage done as the victims speak out on their emotional trauma.
I went through my entire life wondering, why me?
The cost of abuse. Get the full investigation at Newsday.com.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us. We leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast.